Where are we going?
We might be going to the beach.
And what are we gonna do?
Beachcombing.
Yeah, we're off to... So we're going over the old Severn Bridge and then back on ourselves. So we'll still be in England. So we're not breaking any COVID rules. And we're going to Beachley. Oh, Beachley Beach. To have a look and see what we can find. The Johnsons, Caroline and Phil, have been here in the past. So I'm really hoping that we'll find some pipe stem, some nice old pottery and some larger chunks of Seaglass. So when we get there, we'll bring you with us. This video was filmed on the 18th of October.
Before the Severn Bridge was a thing, this was the only way of crossing the Severn River or the Severn Estuary at this point. Before those days, if you didn't want to catch the ferry, because we're at the location of the old ferry, we'd have to go all the way up to close by Gloucester to find a bridge to cross this body of water, and that would add miles and miles and miles to your trip. And from here, hopefully this camera's going to show, but you can see the other end. It's quite a ways downstream. Some work to restore the sea wall is happening at this point in time. Let's go beachcombing, or is that mudlarking today?
We're here at Beachley Beach, and there's myself and Pete and one of Pete's work colleagues who has just found our first piece of pipe stem.
There we go.
Look at that. That is a lovely piece of pipe stem. And we've been here 5 minutes and we found some lovely beach glass and a couple of nice pieces of pottery. Oh, piece of pottery. Is it plain or patterned? Oh, it's patterned. Nice find. Lots of pieces of glass, but they need some more time to tumble around.
And there's quite a large piece of pottery. Just trying to get to grips with this rig that I'm trying out over here.
Oh, found a piece of pipe stem!
Excellent. My Kaz has just found a piece of pipe stem.
Yes!
Excellent.
Fabulous! Oh my god, this is...
And here's that thing I've just pulled out.
Oh, nice! Looks like a handle.
A handle, yeah.
And I picked this up because it's just pretty
stone.
I don't know what it is, but I'm going to keep it.
It's got glaze on it. It doesn't appear to have patterns. It's some kind of pottery. That's something that looks fairly large. Bend down and pick that up and see what it is. I'm not sure. It's a fairly large piece of pottery though. I've yet to find my own piece of pipe stem, and I think I'm about to change that. Here's one down here. Yep, my very first piece of pipe stem. Well chuffed with that.
Nice piece of blue and white. Oh, and some more. Lovely. There's something hiding under here. Oh, plain. That's a pretty pebble. I'm going to take that just because it's pretty. And another piece of pottery. It's got a black line on it and a brown line. Chunky piece of glass, but again, still quite sharp. All teases you. Ooh, I'll have that. Piece of pottery. Right, we're going to take a wander on down the beach, and I'll bring you back if we find anything.
Just in front of my toe, there's a enormous piece of blue. I'll be having that. Yeah, very nice. A bit of pottery down there. Let's be having it. Oh, as I lifted my eyes off the camera screen for a second, there's a rather interesting piece of pottery down here as well. Looks like it's got some green on it. A very festive pattern. Well, let's have a look at these finds over here.
I'll put them on the rock.
Yeah, let's put them down on the rock. Yeah.
Right. I've got a. I think. Do you think that's a tooth?
Yes.
To a creature.
Yep.
Which is on the face. Yeah.
No, probably not.
And ain't another pipe stem.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I just found one as well.
Yeah.
Some old glass there. That big piece.
Yeah. Yeah. A brown bit of glass, piece of china, 2 bits of pottery, and another bubbly thing, and a blue bit.
Excellent. The building on the cliff top is the Old Ferry Inn. It's closed down these days. It's now a business centre. So that's a bit of a shame. So what we're hoping to find down here is evidence of pub life, and we've seen plenty of that. There are glasses, bits of pottery, pipe stems, and it does seem to be concentrated in this area somewhat. MOD land. I guess this counts as our first coin find while out doing a beachcombing. It's 20p. An aeroplane. We don't get to see many of those these days. And here's a look at the new bridge. Right, so this is inside a pillbox which is overlooking the estuary. I'm not convinced I want to go any further inside than this, but I might. It's a very tight doorway.
You inside?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, over here.
Hello.
Hello.
It's very humid in here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Does it smell of wee?
It does smell a little bit of wee. Right, there is the estuary. Try that view from the pillbox again. There's a piece of slate on top of this thing. It's been painted, but I think that's a recent addition. It appears to be just like a solid piece of concrete. It doesn't go through inside. Oh, hang on. It's a memorial to somebody that's died. Right, so this thing is the entrance to a tunnel which carries the electricity supply between Wales and England. We were just chatting to the gent that's actually inside there, and he says the tunnel goes down as far as 100 metres. Just for reference where we are,
6 kilometres.
there's the old bridge, and the other end of the bore is 6 kilometres away. So that's the old way of doing it with electrical pylons. But the span is too great to take the large electricity lines which are required in this day and age. So England off to the left, and to the right is Wales. And there is the entrance of the River Wye, which joins the Severn at that point. Beyond the River Wye is Wales. What did you just find? Pipe stem. Oh, it's like robin blue on one side and patterned on the other. That's a rather nice bit of green there. That's a nice bit of clear glass there. Bottom of a bottle or something, but it's very smooth. That is, it's dark, so I think that's quite old. Pipe stem.
Oh my gosh, that's tiny.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Could you reach into my backpack and turn me on, please?
Said the actress to the bishop.
Yep. It's nice.
Look.
There we go. That's a lovely piece of patterned. Maybe willow pattern. These are definitely bigger chunks than Charmouth Beach. That's nice. But look at
that's
that.
a nice
Is that pirate glass, do you think?
I don't know.
Let's try and hold it up to the... Oh yeah, you can... This thing is so opaque you can barely see through it, but it actually has a tint of green to it. It's a curious looking metal thing. It's quite modern. Well, I think that's some kind of thing from the pub. Found a massive bit of pipe here. I think the trouble is it's actually a bit of iron scaffolding. Not exactly the clay pipe we were looking for. And a metal object. Second bit of metal. A brass something.
Piece of ridge pottery.
Okay, tell us about it.
Marmalade jar.
Okay,
Preserves, jam.
something like that.
I think that's the biggest piece I found so far.
Right, so it looks like we might just have found a pipe bowl. Want to pick it out and see?
I mean, oh yes it is. Oh, you have to beat that. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's a small one
That's
as well,
a
isn't
really
it?
old
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
That's
Wow.
like 17th century I'm going to go for before we research it. I'm going to go 17th century.
Right, 17th century you say? I say it's, you know, it's very small. So who knows, let's hope for the best.
1600 and something, I reckon.
Okay,
Oh my god!
what you got this time?
And it's got a maker's mark on it. Oh no. No, it hasn't.
It looks like the beginnings of a heel there.
Yeah, just before it went into
Yep.
pulp.
Lovely.
Here we have a piece of pipe stem and the heel still attached.
Yep. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yep. Nice.
Broken section of pipe bowl.
But it's got patterns on it.
So I was going down for this piece of pottery, which
It's wedged in tight. It looks like
oh, it's got pattern.
Has it got
on
a pattern on it?
Yeah,
Wow, look at that. Yeah, that's unexpected.
So that's
You know what?
that
It looks
wasn't
like part of the
precise.
same.
Yes.
We've got another piece that might be the same thing.
And I saw another piece just over here, which is plain. But then there's this bad boy in the middle. And this nice section of pipe. Clay pipe stem.
Wonderful.
Fabulous.
The pipe stem, a long piece of pipe stem. That's one of the top 3 lengths of pipe stem from today. I want to say it looks like a little cigarette lighter.
Or matches.
It looks like it opens.
It does, but
Might need a bit of TLC.
I think we have to wait till we get home.
So it's got writing on the bottom. Okay, take a better picture at home. Oh, nice. Well, that's how far the tide has gone out since we've been here.
We arrived here on Beachley Beach at 1:30. The time is now just gone 5 o'clock. We did go for a walk with Pete's work colleague, Rothery, who joined us for the first scour on this beach. So now we're going to head off home. There is an awful lot of washing of finds to do. I am so made up that I found a pipe bowl. Absolutely ecstatic, but we have lots of bits of pipe stem and lots of interesting bits of pottery. So we'll see you in the roundup. Now for a roundup of today's finds. Here we have a selection of random items that we found on the beach, and starting off here with a lump of iron, very rusty. You can see where it started to laminate. It could have come from a brake shoe on a vehicle, but it's just interesting to see how the different layers have started to show now that it's rusting. This here, we think, is part of an outboard motor. If anyone knows any differently, then please leave a comment below. This is obviously a handle from something. It's quite thick, so we're wondering if it's maybe a handle off of a teapot. This here is the core out of a battery, and I've got a whole core out of a battery here, so you can see the tube, the rod that runs through the middle, so we think that's one of those. Here we have a tooth, an incisor. Don't really know what it's from. It's not very big, maybe from a sheep. A modern day fuse. Whoops. And then my first, I think, vulcanite bottle stopper. It's just got the dimpled pattern on top, no maker's name or anything, but still glad to find one of those. Absolutely no idea what this is. It's brass, know that much, but other than that we can't really work out what it is. If anybody knows, again, please do leave us a comment. This here, can't really tell what it's made of. I think it's plastic. It's a hexagonal shape, but it does have a hole running all the way through. So again, absolutely no idea what this is. If anyone does, then let us know. Now, the beach we were on is located at the site of a pub. So there were lots of finds of quite modern glass, glasses that have been thrown over the seawall and stuff. We think this item would have come from the pub, and it either held napkins or maybe pegged onto the table to stop the tablecloth flying off. Not overly exciting. Now moving on to some slightly more interesting stuff. This is an old Holt piston seal tube. Starting to get quite rusty now. And I'll show you a picture of the original packaging as it would have looked like in the day. Here we have just some random spring, so I just brought it home to put in the rubbish. And finally, we have this. Now, it's something to do with cosmetics. On the base here, and I'll show you a photo of it zoomed in so that you can read it, it says Houbigant, France, and the top word is Coquelicot, which is French for poppy. And there has been some seepage of a reddish, pinkish item that probably was held within this. Now, I did email the Houbigant France website and sent them a photo and asked them if they had any ideas as to what this would have contained and what era it was from. But they said that they didn't deal with the history of their products, which was slightly unfortunate. So if anybody knows anything about Houbigant and their items, we would be interested to know about this. This little bit here probably doesn't pick it up very well, but it's actually a blue fake kind of stone or something. I've tried as hard as I can without the risk of damaging it to try and open it to see what's in there, but to no avail. But here's some information about the house of Houbigant France. As you can see, we found a good haul of Seaglass here. Let's start over here. We found quite a lot of pieces, and they're of different colours and different thicknesses, of this glass it's got ridges in it. I don't know if you can hear and see that. Absolutely loads of it. If anybody knows what this glass would have been used for, please do let us know, because I'm really curious. Quite thick and chunky. But yeah, absolutely no idea what it's for, but there was lots of it. There was also this pretty piece. It's quite thick. It's got not bubbles, but like dimples, and it's texturized, you can see, but it's got a pattern on it. It looks almost like privacy glass. I don't know whether it is privacy glass. It's smooth one side and then dimpled this side. But it seems quite thick for modern day glass. I could be wrong. I don't know. It might have been from the, I don't know, a toilet window from the pub. From its older days. And maybe it was refurbished and some of the old glass made its way down to the beach. I don't know. It's very smooth, so it's been tumbling around a while. Then moving on to the brown glass. I particularly like this one. It's got a wonky lip on the bottle. I think this is what we call an applied lip. So the bottleneck was made, and then this lip piece has been added afterwards. Again, quite chunky. Nice green colour. This is a piece of green glass. I like this because of the tarnish that it's got on it. I don't know whether you can see that. Very pretty colours. Another old bottle lip. And then some really chunky glass. I'm not sure if this is what is referred to as pirate glass. If anybody knows better or can confirm that this is pirate glass, just leave comments. That'd be really gratefully appreciated. Lots of green. Again, really thick glass. That looks like the bottom of something. It's like a lip. We found these two. Now I have no other word but nipple to describe them, but they are hollowed out, or domes the other side. Do these come from the bottom of bottles? Does anybody know? I'm afraid we're quite new to mudlarking, and this is the best find of glass that we've ever found, so we're finding new stuff and not really knowing what it's from. So if anyone can help us and let us know what these might have come from, we'd be very thankful. Over here we've got some blue glass. Quite a pretty colour blue, in fact, quite unusual. Blue glass is always a good find because it's difficult. This piece is quite thick and chunky. Don't know whether you can see how chunky that is. It looks like the bottom of a bottle or something, I don't know. And then we've got a piece of almost turquoise, which is very pretty. And then a piece of the normal kind of cobalt blue or whatever colour. Found a piece of white milk glass. This is a piece of security glass because it's got the like fire glass or something. It's got the wire in embedded in it, but it looks quite pretty because obviously I think some water's got in and the wire has started to rust, and it's given it a kind of a yellowy colour, and in the bright sunshine it's actually quite pretty. And then we've got a selection of pretty little nuggets over here. They're almost like miniature jelly beans, really well worn, really sanded down. And I'm hoping that I can use these to make some jewellery. Lots of sea foam here. This one is obviously the bottom of a bottle, and it does have some writing on it, but not enough to tell us what would have been contained in the bottle, unfortunately. And then lastly, this bit is quite curved. It's almost like a glass handle off of something, but very smooth. Don't know what it is again, but yeah, we were happy with our haul of sea glass. But if anyone can help us out with any of the items that I've mentioned that we just don't know what they are, we would be really grateful. Thank you. And here we have our massive, for us massive, as before we attended this beach we only had 3 small bits of pipe stem. We now have 10 times as many bits of pipe stem. Yeah, really happy with our finds on the old pipe stem front. Obviously the best find was this pipe bowl. It's got some small markings around the top of the bowl. It does have a maker's mark on the heel. I'll give you a close-up photo of that. Just going from the size and the shape of the bowl, I, in my unprofessional status, would date this as kind of 17th century, so 1600 and something era for this pipe. Quite small when tobacco was quite new and probably quite expensive, so only small amounts were affordable. And also we have part of a pipe bowl which has a really pretty little pattern on it. Would have been nice to have found the whole thing, but still happy with that partial. Then we have a piece of stem here from a pipe. again, it does have a maker's mark on the bottom. I'll put up a photo of a clearer shot of it. If anybody recognises any of these maker's marks or the style of bowl, etc., and has a more grounded opinion, please do let us know in the comments. It's how we learn. And this bit, I think, because it's glazed, I don't know if you can see that, it's actually glazed and rounded. This could be part of a German porcelain pipe. I have Googled and had a look, and I can see how it could be a piece of German pipe. But again, if anybody has any other ideas, please do feel free to let me know. I have joined a pipe group on Facebook, and I keep meaning to put photos on of the full pipe bowl and this stem as well, so that the maker's marks can be seen by other people that enjoy mudlarking and have probably a far greater knowledge of clay pipes than myself or Pete, to see if we can draw from their knowledge. So I will be putting that on there as well. But yeah, really happy with this selection of clay pipes and stems that we have here. And here we have a collection of the plain pottery, or the patterned, but as in raised, rippled or ridged. This first piece I love. I have no idea what it's from. It's a kind of beigey colour, beigey cream. It's got this hatch pattern on it. A raised ridge around here. It's glazed both sides. It's smooth on the other side. And it's got a slight curve to it. So I have no idea what this was part of. Then we've got some good old ridge pottery. This is the ridge pottery with the ridges further apart, as opposed to the other type where you've got lots of ridges close together. Good old marmalade pot. Then we've got, I think this would have been a saucer, but it's got a textured raised pattern around the edge of the plate here. Then what I think may be a very small teacup, but again, it's got a pattern, little raised ridges in it. And then finally, the handle offers someone's cup. I'm going to call this section the blue and white collection, purely because everything here is blue and white. We found quite a lot of pieces of blue and white. As I've said, still new to mudlarking, so my knowledge of transfer wear, sponge wear and actually hand painted is quite limited at the moment. But I do have a feeling that this piece is a piece of sponge wear, and possibly that piece too. I could be wrong. Lots of willow pattern, some other interesting pieces too. I quite like this one. I don't know whether you can see, but those lines are all made up of little dots. And then this is rather interesting. Looks like the rim of a bowl or something, but so it's not quite white, it looks grey with then a blue line, and it's got ridges as well. These are all ridged. So a lip of a bowl, and that looks kind of similar as well. I don't think it's from the same item, but it may be from a similar item. This piece here you can hardly see, but there is blue pattern on there, but there's also lots of crazing, which I think looks quite pretty anyway. So that's the blue and white collection. This section is our other coloured and patterned pottery that we found. Where to start? I think we'll start here. I'm pretty sure it's got a ridge there, so I'm pretty sure that this is a tile from its thickness and shape. But I just liked the colour and then the crazing or crackling that's occurred on it. This piece here has got a greeny pattern on it. I haven't really found anything like that before. I don't know what it is. It's got a rim or a ledge to it. I don't know which way is up and which is down, but very pretty green pattern. This piece here is brown, kind of brown and white, and looks like there's a pergola in there. Looks quite like an oriental garden scene, quite like that. This piece here I really like because my favourite colour is purple, and this pattern actually looks purple. Definitely not found anything with purple on before. Pete found this rather bright piece of pottery. It's probably quite modern, but I like the colours on that one. Again, probably quite modern. Bit of a floral pattern on it. This is a tiny little piece. Potentially it should have been in my blue and white section, because looking at it closely, I think it is a blue and white pattern, but it's so tiny. The actual detail and pattern itself is tiny. This piece is obviously definitely modern, because I don't know whether you can see it, but it's still got a bit of the gold banding around the edge of the, I should imagine it was a saucer. This is Pete's find, and it's probably my most favourite find pottery wise of the day. It depicts a camel and 3 men, so I don't know whether it's the 3 wise men, but yeah, I like that piece. Little piece here with a flower on it. Not quite sure what the pattern is on this, but a pretty peachy colour. This piece has writing on it. It says EST, so I don't know whether it's the est for established, or whether the letter in front of it is a B for best. Maybe best bitter? I don't know. Piece with some brown lines on it. This bit is raised, so that's textured. Then you've got a white band and then a blue band, but each band is kind of raised. Some baby pink or flesh coloured pottery. Has been glazed, just. And then this piece here, I'll leave this one till last. I really don't know what this is. Both sides are glazed in a dark brown colour. And then you can see that I have a feeling that this could be from something quite old. I could be wrong. Or it could be, I don't know, it could be from a Brown Betty teapot. If anyone knows anything about any of these items, then please leave a comment below. Thank you. Now moving on to plain pottery. I have some terracotta ware here. It's got dark glazing on that side, and then it's got a white section on that side. I don't know anything really about old pottery, so again, any help from anybody would be really gratefully appreciated. This is a piece of terracotta. It's got a tiny little lip there. I don't know how old it is. I don't know whether it's a plant pot or... It's quite thin for terracotta, I would say. But again, if anybody knows what this might have been, let me know. And this piece, I don't know whether it's, I don't know whether it's a bit off of a brick or what really. Kind of rough on this side, but it's darker. And then a lighter that side. This piece I know a little bit about. I know that those are called inclusions, therefore one would believe that this is an older piece of pottery, and it has been, I don't know whether that's like burn marks from whether it was a cooking pot. I mean, that's obviously the lip, and then that's all dark, but if anyone can help me on that one, brilliant. Again, this piece has been glazed on one side, but not on the other. This piece has a pattern, a very faint pattern on there, lines, if you can see that. And then on the other side, that's been glazed. But again, it looks like, I don't know, to me it looks like it's been near something hot. Any other mudlarkers out there that know me know I do like a good bit of dough bowl. So luckily managed to find 2 pieces of dough rising bowl. Dough rising bowl makes Karen a very happy girl. And then I'm not sure if this is a piece of pottery or whether it's just a pretty pebble stone rock, but it doesn't seem to go all the way through or round. The pattern is just on the top. And here's the last few bits of our day's hauls. These bits are, I collected these because I liked them or they were pretty. These stones have pretty lines in them. I don't know whether you can see them. They look better when they're wet because they show up far more. But I'm going to attempt to polish them, so that'll be in another video. This is extremely light. It's got a texture to it. I don't know whether it's man-made or what. It's rough. It almost feels a bit like one of those things that you use to, it's not pumice stone, but it feels a bit like pumice, if that makes sense. But I have no idea what it actually is. And then finally this piece of this pebble rock, I'll show you a picture now of it under light, and it's very pretty. And again, I'm going to attempt to polish this.
Chepstow is the graveyard of one of the old ferries that used to ply the route that we visited recently.
There we have it, our day out at Beachley Beach. We were really happy with the vast array of items that we found, and also it was just a lovely day out, lovely scenery. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Until next time, bye!